Here we go. Time for E4. Cam 49, 1960. Good rating. Sicilian. I have beaten him before. Let's go for the open Sicilian. An accelerated dragon. So I'm going to play a Maroczy bind against the dragon. See how we could do. See how it goes. He can play this funny move knight here, right? It's one of those things. Queen takes the knight, but bishop and knight are trained on the knight, so he wins this knight in the center. Okay. Well, now I'll take with the bishop, and the queen will still be defending the knight. So I think now you can't play that anymore. I think he had to play it before castling if he wanted to choose that line. So let's get castled here. So let's drop the knight back. So he can't trade it off. I want to get in the F3 move here without having to worry too much about pins and things. The bishop covers the B3 square, so the queen can't run out. B6. The queen can't run out to B6 now. So F3 is a little safer to play. You still can't play knight to G4 because I will take it in this case. So the next step is to get the rook off of the long diagonal here. And finally protect the knight and play B3. And I'll have the complete setup there. Yeah, so he opened up his bishop to take a look at my knight. Also, his knight might hop into one of these squares, not right away. Maybe he's also thinking about playing F5. F5 it is. Let's take. Kind of weakens his king side a bit. I'm not sure that was a good decision. But, well, it undoes my Maroczy. There's no more Maroczy bind here. So he was pausing to think if G4 is anything, right? It forks those two pieces. He plays bishop takes knight. I played pawn takes knight. He retreats the bishop. I could take this pawn with check. Whose king is worse? His king looks pretty safe to me after that with the bishops next to the king. So let's just defend the C pawn. It's not really in need of defending, but it's just a solid structure there. And then put my knight on. So he went ahead and took right away. So I don't mind that so much because it does give me the bishop here. The question is, should I take with the queen or the rook? Taking with the queen is nice because it puts me on this light squared diagonal opposite his king. Can I exploit that? I can bring my bishop here. I guess I like that. He can, of course, put his knight on F4 now with the F file open. He's looking at g2. He's looking at e2. Yeah, and if I play bishop d3, he will take it. So let's get rid of his knight. It's a bit of an annoyance. And let's see how he's going to defend his g-pawn. With his knight. Oh, okay. I can still go here and keep up the pressure. Maybe threaten to trade his knight off. I'm looking at the b-pawn here too. I didn't realize that, but there it is. Knight to d5 has been my idea for a while now. He'll probably kick it with e6 when I play there, so I want to play it at the right time, but maybe now's the right time. Knight d5, e6, knight here. No, the queen's still covering that. That's not correct. He does have queen b6, yeah, with that bishop gone. He could have gone out there with the check. I don't know if it did much. Looks like he's more worried about the king side. Makes sense. But now knight d5 threatens knight c7 with the fork, and it hits his rook. So I think he loses the exchange here. So is that knight worth the exchange? I guess it is. It's a pretty good knight, but you know, a rook is a rook. There are other ideas here before I commit to that. Even if I chase this knight away, his queen is defending here. And plus I'll have this pressure anyway, even after this, so. Yeah, I think this has some decent follow-ups. Ah, yeah. So he moved the queen out of the way so he could take back with the rook. That way his queen stays here and defends the g-pawn. So let's go ahead and grab this rook. He has no sacrifice on f3 that I can see. And let's grab a pawn while we're at it. Or should I? I could consider kicking the knight first. While the... well, actually, I think I'll have that chance again. Okay. That should be enough. Let's bring the bishop back. I want to play f4 and the rook f3 to g3. And yeah, he wants to harass me this way. So let's hit his knight first. I'll be taking his knight with a tempo. With a tempo on the queen. Okay, so now I have to be careful again. Don't you hate it when you have to be careful? So the knight's threatening to come into e3. Okay, I'll move my queen to defend e3 and attack his knight. He's got queen a7 check. I go here, but as long as this square is well covered, I should be okay. If the knight moves, I have queen takes h5 check, unless he goes to f6. So I guess he will play knight f6. Ah, that didn't work, right? Did not defend because the pawn is still pinned. Unless he's got a trick here. He can move the queen with check, but he can't easily unpin. He's got to move the king to unpin. Okay, I can take once. Then drop back. Keeping things blockaded there. So I want to get my rook to the second rank there, 7th rank. Let's see, queen here is covered by his bishop. Probably I just run my queen back to f3. The safe and sane thing to do here. Yeah, so he takes advantage of the check. Makes sense. Hard to say whether h1 or h2 is better. He can maybe drop his knight in here. Okay, he's causing trouble. Can I get my rook to the 2nd rank? I can get my rook here to the 3rd rank. The pawn is still pinned. Really, all I wanted to do was save my queen, but he kept hitting my pieces there. So I guess I have to move the rook. Queen f3 would have defended. Yeah, I can still play it now. Right? Queen f3 defends and hits his bishop. But well, let's look at this for a little bit. If I take with the rook, he takes with the rook. I take with the bishop, he takes with the queen. So, I mean, I can take with the rook and he takes, and I've got a pin there, but unless I have a great way of reinforcing the pin, it doesn't do too much. So let's come back here. I did succeed in lifting up my rook. Ah, he just defends there. Okay. I can't do that. I wanted to double my rooks and play rook to... I can play this move here. This looks good. Release the pin on the pawn and attack his queen. He can attack my rook. Oh, my rook is defended. Yeah, we have opposite colored bishops, and so I have a lot of control over the light squares, and I'm weak on the dark squares. So, but if I can attack on the light squares, this is good for me. And if I win another exchange, then I can always give an exchange back to get rid of this annoying bishop and pawn combo here. Yeah, so he goes there. Well, I can take the rook with check. So attacking my rook. Well, my rook was defended anyway. So his idea is to push the pawn forward. That's why he's put the queen behind it. Okay, but let's take this with check. See how he takes back. And now, let's just do this. If I go here and he pushes the pawn, I will play rook c7. I can take the queen with check and then still block the pawn. And if he trades rooks, if he takes the exchange back, I just have to worry about that passed pawn, and I'll have rook and queen versus rook and knight. Should be good. Yeah, so he saves his king. Is there a way to better this? Get my queen to this square. Maybe queen g4 to reinstate the threat. It's nice that his knight is way back out of play. Otherwise, there's always danger with queen and knight around your king. Always something you got to watch out for. Okay, so now I can go here with check. Queen takes, pawn takes, check, and bishop takes, and then just stop this pawn. Rook against two rooks against bishop and knight should be winning. Is there a better way to do it? How about rook takes pawn? He just takes back. Yeah, let's go for this endgame. It'll be a little quicker to play. Okay, so I have to bring my king over. Yeah, he decided to take the exchange now. So it's rook against knight and an extra pawn, but he does have a passer, so let's respect that. Be careful here. Okay, get my king in front of his king. Probably have to win this by creating some kind of Zugzwang position. So yeah, there are probably better ways of winning this in retrospect. There are probably better ways of doing this. So he's got the check here and the check here. So let's think. If he plays there with the check and I take, he takes. I can start pushing these pawns. Let's attack his pawns. The best attack is a good counterattack. Okay, now I've got a passed pawn. An outside passed pawn is always a big asset in an endgame. Let's start it rolling. So check here, check there, or just coming forward to grab the pawn. Not quite sure where the knight is going. The king, he wants to bring the king in. Okay, that makes sense. Let's take his pawn then. can't do everything, and I still have a pawn on the other side of the board. So he goes there. Okay, let's take. I probably should have just taken the knight. That would be simplest. That would definitely be simplest. So he goes there. Okay, let's step back. Let's go over here and start this pawn rolling. Oh, at least I can't lose this game. Because he can't mate me with a knight. And he has no pawns left. Yeah, let's just take it. It's too silly not to take it. And he resigned. Okay, good game. I'll upload this into a postmortem and see you guys later. Bye.